G'day, it's Madam Mac. Here are the wax carving tools you will need to get started. First and foremost is your bench, peg and a sturdy table to work on. Mine is attached with a bench clamp to the bench. Nice and sturdy, keeps your arms rested as well. Wax tubes, they come in all different sorts of shapes and colours. You'll want to experiment with each different type depending on the design you wish to carve and depending on the type of hardness you need for your wax. This is a signet tube. This is for a dome type of ring, a lower signet or some type of sculptural ring, and a wedding ring tube for standard stackers. Pick the tube which is best for you. The next thing you'll need is, if you're doing pendants and other components, some ferrous filer wax blocks. These come in all different sorts of thicknesses and you can buy them in different colours as well, but primarily blue and green. I use these for pendants and other components. Make sure that you pick the right thickness. You do have to file them down quite a little as well. Wax carvers. There are all sorts of wax carvers available online. These are a mid-range. They cost around $45. Love them, super duper sharp, and they're a step up from the dental carvers. These are the ones I prefer to use. They are the Wolf Wax Carving Precision Carvers, super duper sharp. I've got two sets. That was the micro set, and this is the macro set, which has more. They've got bigger heads and a bigger variety of use. I probably use a small handful of these. I do gravitate towards a few, but they are quite an investment. So unless you're doing it full time, I'd start off with something a little less. A scribe, you're going to need this to mark out all of your guidelines on your waxes. This is just a tungsten carbide one. You can grab them on eBay for about $15 or $20. A wax carving file. So this is used for wax, double-sided. There's a smooth and a coarse side. This is the flat side. And the other side is half round, so smooth and coarse, or the other way around, and you can check the profile from the side. So that's what you're looking for. It's a very standard wax carving file, and it will be your best friend at the bench. Next up, we have the stainless steel dental carvers, which are the budget carvers. They're basically what your dentist uses, so you may even be able to grab some cheap ones from them. I use these to texture wax, and not for much else. Next up, filing paper. So 600 grit is usually pretty good. It's just silicon carbide, regular sanding paper, nothing special about it. And you may want to put some 1500 in your toolkit for smoothing out things as well. Dividers, German dividers. You're going to have to pick up a pair of these for measuring and marking your waxes. This is the analog way of doing stuff. If you did want to be a little bit fancier, you can actually grab yourself some digital calipers, so it's a bit more precise for the precision work, like signet rings and very symmetrical things. So don't be afraid to pick up a pair of these. They do range between $50 and $100, but they're very well worth it, especially if you're going to be getting into some work with gemstones. Tweezers. If you're going to be doing lots of stuff with little gemmies, you're going to want to grab a pair of gemstone tweezers because it can be really annoying trying to scoop them up with other things. X-Acto knife. This is a craft knife. It's bloody brilliant. Super sharp. Be careful you don't hurt yourself with it. Yeah, grab one of these. You can carve wax with it, do repairs with it. The world is your oyster, really. Sharpie, Sharpie Darpy. You'll want to grab one of these. Trust me. Little tiny brush. You're going to want this to dust your wax carvings occasionally because the fluff gets in the way. And you might want to grab a brush for your bench as well so that you can dust stuff away and not be inhaling the wax all the time, unless you're wearing a mask, of course. A lighter. Couple of things we use this for. We'll get into the nitty-gritties later, but have one on standby. Tea light candle. I use this with the budget dental carvers, not the Kate Wolf ones, to texture the waxes, as you'll see. Flour, always a great asset in your toolkit. Marking and measuring and highlighting. It's effectively a highlighter on paper. Ring sizing mandrel for the wax tubes. This one's super sharp. It is the premium and it's great because it doesn't leave any lines on the inside of your wax tubes when you're sizing them to size. You'll also need a normal ring sizing stick to figure out what size your ring needs to be so that you can get the tube to that precise measurement and internal diameter. A regular stainless steel mandrel does not go astray in the toolkit. You can use this to build up organic designs or to hammer harden your rings, which you'll see in the next segment. A pin vise. If you're going to be using any burrs with your work and you're not using a micromotor, you'll want to grab one of these for comfort. Here are just a variety of little burrs that we'll be using throughout the course, the wax course and the metals course if you sign up to that one. The brand I use is Bush, B-U-S-C-H. This is a micromotor. If you're going to be doing any advanced work or just need the aid, you'll have to pick one up. You can grab them off eBay for about $140 to $200. You pop your little attachment in the end and you lock it in to do your work, and the rotary tool does the work. Safety glasses are super important if you're going to be doing any micromotor work. In fact, you should always wear them when you just feel like it's a necessity. Brass wire, I'll show you in a moment why we need this. It's because we're going to be using a soldering pen. This is the one that I use from JK Electronics, Duratec 10-watt mini soldering iron. I use this for melting wax, building designs, and also doing repairs. And the brass wool is what you clean the tip of that unit on, because the wax will cake itself onto that. Wax wires, you're going to want to pick some of these up. I'd use it for patching up, doing repairs, and also when we get into some bale work. So stick around, you'll see how that's used in that context. Next up, we have got a ring cylinder kit. So these cylinders are all different sizes, ranging from 5 to 13, I believe. And also the half sizes, which is the red aluminium mandrel, as you'll see here. And this is the stand that it goes on. So you pop the ring size onto the shaft there, and you can build your design around it. Just as such, it's got a little rolling ball and it will clip on, and that way it's pretty much a third hand. So you can have two free hands while you're working, and